This week has been a little bit more different because I have relaxed more, and next week I'm going on a trip, so I've been planning and preparing, planning everything that I have to leave done for that week for my job, and preparing everything that I'm gonna take with me in this trip because I'm gonna visit my family and I bought gifts for them. And I haven't focused, I feel, on anything in specific. I did my exercises for this week. I worked a little bit on my creativity. I also did my artist dates and I drew twice this week. I was thinking, oh, I just drew twice, which is not as often as I would have liked to. But then I thought, wait, why am I seeing it from like a negative perspective when I can see it from a positive perspective? There have been months that I don't even draw or do anything related to art, and this week I have drawn twice. That is progress, and that is amazing. All these weeks I've been drawing and I've been creating, which is amazing. So I'm getting back to that flow and creativity. So I feel it's actually progress, which is amazing. And I decided to see it from a positive perspective because it's healthier and even better. Also, this week has been a little bit different. It's been interesting because I have learned something actually, and it's something that I still have to maybe journal about. I don't know if you're interested in what happens in the world. I'm not usually that into knowing what's going on in the world, politics related. But this past week, I don't know what date it was, but you know what happened in USA and who was elected, right? And I was watching TikToks. There were people talking about it and giving their opinions about what was happening and what was going on and with everything that happened in the inauguration day and stuff. I feel all the videos that I was watching were kind of like a negative perspective. And I just felt really overwhelmed and really powerless just seeing that things were happening and maybe not positive things and you can do anything. And I just started feeling really bad because of it. I even talked to ChatGPT because I just needed to calm down because it was just way too much. And ChatGPT told me that you don't have to change the world, but you can change the things around you. So, what does that mean? It means if you're an artist, if you paint, you can paint about, the topics that you're interested in. Maybe ideas you support, right? Maybe like freedom or your rights or, stuff like that. You can paint those things and you can inspire the people around you. So you start change with yourself and you start inspiring the people around you. So slowly you're actually doing something that's actually gonna help, maybe that's gonna create something even bigger. And I feel this week I've been keeping a lot of things inside or a lot of tension maybe. I feel it started with that day with all this news and everything that I was watching. So I decided to leave TikTok for a while because it was too much. And I think it helped, but still, I don't know if you hear my voice. Like I'm a little bit sick and it's my throat. It hurts. And I believe that sometimes there's emotions that keep trapped or because there's like too much going on in your head that you don't express enough, don't let it out, it manifests in your body as an illness or sickness. And I feel this could be related to that. I feel like I've kept maybe way too much inside, maybe too much tension that I need to let it out. And I read about biodecoding. I actually asked ChatGPT, like, what does your throat hurting means in biodecoding? And ChatGPT told me it could mean a difficulty expressing your real thoughts or what you actually think about something. Maybe you're scared of saying it and what you actually like, what you really think. It could be anger or frustration that you haven't been able to express and you're keeping inside and they get stuck in your throat. It could perfectly be that, right? And also having like a feeling that there's unfair things going on that you don't know how to express it or manifest it, And it could also be not saying things because you're afraid of how people are gonna perceive it or what they think about what you have to say. I feel it could be maybe like anger or frustration that I've kept inside and it's manifesting in my throat. You know what would happen to me a lot when I was a little kid? A lot of times my throat it would hurt and I would have inflamed tonsils. And as a little kid, I never said what I actually thought or what I actually wanted. I remember my parents will take me to buy shoes for school and they will tell me, "Do you like these?" And I would always be like, "Yes, I like those." I didn't like any of them. I never liked any of the shoes they bought me. I think it was like once that my mom actually bought me some shoes that I really, really liked, and I was really happy about it. And she bought two pairs. One pair of shoes, they have like this ballerina style. I really like them because they look really feminine, and my mom would always buy me shoes that were not as feminine as I wanted them to be. They looked a little bit more, I don't know how to explain it, but they were not ugly. Now, like me now looking back, they're not ugly, but like me back then, I didn't like them. And I would never tell them. I would never tell them if I liked something, if I didn't like something, and I would like most of the time have my tonsils inflamed. Me looking back now I understand so many things. When I was a little kid, I would always tell my mom that I had stomachache and she would take me to the doctors and they made a lot of tests, analysis, everything. They never found anything. Now me like a year ago, I realized that all that time that happened, I actually was anxious. And that stomach ache was when you're feeling anxious and you just can't eat and all these feelings. It was happening to me. I was a really anxious kid and now I can see it. And back then, it's so sad that my mom didn't know what was happening, right? That it was actually anxiety because maybe I could have received help in a different way, not like doctors, but maybe like a therapist, like trying to find like what's going on. Well, I honestly feel I know what happened, and that's something that I still have to journal about. I've been working on these topics slowly for more than a year now, and I've been unlocking different parts, and I am reaching conclusions and slowly. So that's a good thing. Progress is amazing. I went out with my friend last weekend, and there was a moment where he asked me, "What are your goals?" And I told him one of my goals, and then I asked him like what were his goals, and he told me about his goals, and then he asked me, "But don't you have something like bigger, like something else? Maybe having your art exhibited in galleries or having your own gallery?" I think he said. And I was like, I do have more goals, but they are not these big goals because having my own gallery, for example, and then like how do I get there, right? Like I had never reached those goals. Why? Because it's like there's like a huge gap in between as from where I am now to that big goal. There's too much space. So what I do now is I focus on that space, and instead of like having big goals I have small goals. For example, I can start with consistency. Consistency can be a really good goal because if I'm not consistent, how can I get somewhere? So consistency is a solid base to start with. If I am consistent, if I create art often, then I can go to the next step, right? Maybe having my own website where I sell my art, right? And then because I'm consistent, I am publishing stuff, videos, paintings, whatever. People are seeing it, people are buying it, and then we can go to the next step. The next step, maybe having my art exhibited in other galleries, and maybe after that, it could be opening my own gallery. You see, there has to be small steps in between. Of course, you have to have like an idea of where you want to get, but after that, just don't think about it. Just focus on the small steps. And that's what I'm trying to do. focus on the small steps first, because that's how you will see progress, and that will keep you moving, creating, and progressing, and more progress and more progress. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for progress.